You've seen mods that add different cities, weapons, resources, crafting materials, and so much more. But have you ever heard of a mod that quite literally allows every zombie within a 150 tile radius to know your exact location? This is a much requested playthrough and one that I've enjoyed immensely. The entire premise is as follows. Utilizing the They Know Where You Are mod, every 10 minutes all zombies within 150 tiles of me will be pinged to my exact location, requiring me to always stay on the move. To add some extra spice to this challenge, I've gone ahead and added Pillow's random spawns, so I'll always have a truly randomized starting location and won't just be able to pick Rosewood like I've come to rely on. I also tweaked the helicopter vents, changing them from once to sometimes for an added difficulty measure. One last implementation is the Become Desensitized mod, which I set at a minimum of 2,500 zombies, with the maximum being 5,000 because it's a QOL mod that, quite frankly, should be in the base game. Because if I manage to kill 5,000 zombies, there's no way I should be panicked when I see two standing 50 feet away. For those already in the comments asking for a mod list, it's down in the description if you'd like to play alongside of me. For traits, I went with High Thirst, Slow Healer, Underweight, Claustrophobic, Conspicuous, Prone to Illness, Smoker, Weak Stomach, and Slow Reader for negatives. For positives, I chose Dexterous, Outdoorsman, Runner, Gymnast, Fast Learner, Organized, and Athletic. It's a bit different than my normal build, but something I've been messing around with in other playthroughs and on multiplayer, and I've been loving so far. Spawning into a trailer park, I give it my best guess, and assumed that we spawn at Riverside, which is both a blessing and a curse. On the bright side, it's not Louisville, or Bedford Falls. The downside, it's Riverside.
I'm fine, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Spawning in the trailer park was probably the best case scenario here, since there's considerably less zombies than if I spawned in the center of town. Being essentially unable to loot anything from the trailers, I moved to the auto shop, where I was able to scoop up 2 wrenches to use as weapons. My goal here is to hit up the warehouse to find some solid melee options, then the diner across the street for some food. Ideally, I can find a car and begin making looting runs into the town, hopefully coming away with some firepower from the police station. The warehouse wasn't as bad as I anticipated it to be. Most of the zombies got stuck in the western wall, allowing me to loop through the eastern back door and grab a few more melee weapons before getting flushed back out into the parking lot. The next objective is finding a working vehicle. Working my way through the parking lot, I was able to find 1 car and 1 truck with keys, but both were out of fuel. Luckily, the fire station truck has an empty fuel can in it. Now I just need to head to the nearby gas station and I should be good to go. Since I'm a slut for loot, I got greedy at the gas station, heading inside to grab any snacks I could get my hands on. This, in turn, led to the zombies flooding in through the windows like Black Friday shoppers. Thinking on my feet, I squeezed through them and headed to the laundromat connected to the building. Fleeing out the front door and making it back to the truck just in time to fuel up, start it, and hit the road. The great thing about this mod is the ability to manipulate zombie movement in the area. Since all the zombies within 150 tiles are either at the gas station or the warehouse, the roads in front of me should be relatively clear. The only thing I completely neglected with this build was grabbing the Wakeful trait, which requires less sleep. For now, I'll have to sleep in my car in short increments and hope I come across some vitamins to help with this. The plan is to drive to safe locations and sleep whenever it's remotely safe. That way, I can take shorter rests, almost like I'm napping, and then continue without having to risk becoming too tired to do anything when all the zombies show up. Anyway, I have my base location picked out, at least for now. I'm planning to use the abandoned warehouses on the outskirts. It's far enough away that I shouldn't be pulling in thousands of zombies, but still close enough to the city that I can do looting runs. After arriving, I took some time to clear out the nearby zombies. With all seeable forces taken care of, I began going door to door looting all of the houses, using my truck as a massive mobile storage unit. was able to find a generator in one of the houses, and after waking up the next morning, I was able to catch Life and Living before continuing the looting run. Spoiler alert, all these houses are in ruins, and don't contain anything of value. Moving closer to the construction site, I attracted a few more zombies that I was able to avoid. After catching the noon showing for Life and Living, I set back out for the gas station to refuel the truck and hopefully grab some other items. To deal with the massive hordes, I had the idea to make 2 big loops. The first would kite the majority of the zombies into the trees. After 10 minutes or so, another ping would go off, grabbing the stragglers by the gas station, which I could then pull further into the woods before circling back to the car. After refueling, I didn't want to risk too much, so I headed back into my warehouse for the night. Tomorrow, I'd be heading into the city. In short, this entire day was a waste of time. I reached the police station relatively early, but that was the easy part. This is mainly due to the fact that it only took around 20 minutes before I'd attracted a few hundred zombies that I was unable to kite away from the station. I circled back 3 or 4 times before trying my hand at killing zombies to find a key, but that didn't work much either due to the sheer number of zombies mowing around. At this point, I was starting to get tired, which was limiting my damage output. Not willing to risk it, I hopped back in the truck and drove back to base. Funny note here, I flipped my car making a turn, so here you go. At this point, I'll need guns to even get into the city. There's a military surplus store on the southwest of the map, so I set my sights on that and began making my way over there the next morning. While making my way through the abandoned neighborhood, I ran into a small group of zombies that I used to grind some melee skills on. I looted a shotgun and a revolver from the corpse, along with a large backpack, so I scooped that, giving me 12 more space than the duffel bag. The drive itself was pretty straightforward, both figuratively and literally. It's a straight line across one of the more deserted highways in the game. The only issue is the time it takes to drive that far. Made it to the surplus store at around noon and got to work. I had this crazy idea in my head that I could just fight the zombies fast enough, I could kill the majority before they grouped up and formed a horde. I have no idea what I was thinking, but I wasn't even close to accomplishing that. The best solution I could come up with was to actually do the opposite of my initial plan and group them up into a giant ball, leaving them far away from the surplus store. Once I'd pulled them far enough away, I circled back to the loot store, hoping for a shotgun and some ammo. Luckily, I was able to find a shotgun and several boxes of ammo. Ready to take on the giant tumor shambling my way, I stepped outside and racked a shell before getting to work. After burning through over 112 gauge shells, I was getting tired. I had one container of vitamins, which I started shoving down my throat before repeating the initial process of grouping the remaining zombies up so I could get another few seconds in the store. I didn't find any shells this time, but I did manage to find the greatest free-to-play weapon in all of Gielinor, the Rune Scimitar, which I was able to get some solid use out of. After fighting for a few hours, it was clear the legendary sword of free-to-play noobs wasn't going to do the trick. This led to my third and final loop around, where I was able to get into the surplus store and grab an M19, 2 mags, and a couple boxes of 45 ACP. At this point, it was pitch black outside, and getting incredibly difficult to see anything that wasn't in the store's exterior lighting. Because of this, I would kite zombies northeast of the building, then circle back and take my shots while they were in the light. Fighting carried over into the next morning when I was able to take down the last few zombies with the M19. With hundreds of dead covering the parking lot, I moved inside to loot the area. There's a locked door in the back room, but I was able to find a screwdriver on a corpse and disassemble the door, giving me free entry into the back room. This was a huge jackpot and allowed me to come away with dozens of boxes of ammo, a few rune skimmies, an Uzi, a MAC-10, an M14, several shotguns, a Colt Anaconda revolver, and an SKS. With the building looted, I finally went to sleep in the truck, although I forgot to move myself away from the corpses, causing me to wake up sick. With my mission now accomplished, I set off back to base, making it back at around 3 a.m. With the weapons secured, we should be able to push into Riverside fairly easily now, or at least target another POI and head there. But I think this is a good place to stop for now. We've managed to survive for around 5 days so far and have racked up 258 kills. Here's my skills so far as well. A very special thank you to my YouTube members and Patreon supporters. They are literally the reason this series is being made, as quite a few of them have suggested this idea to me. I appreciate you all, and as always, thanks for stopping by.